She exploded and accused me of favoritism. Although my decision had nothing to do with favoritism, I didn't bother denying it. Oh! Today, that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna read Am I the Asshole Reddit posts, and then we will have our answers via 8-ball premonition. If it thinks that someone is or isn't an asshole, no matter what, we're gonna try to dissect the 8-ball's reasoning, because the magic 8-ball is omnipotent, right? Obviously, you know, I have my own opinions, but at the end of the day, the thing that really matters is how the 8-ball feels. Am I the asshole for saying a children's music recital isn't that serious? My kids are in elementary school. We normally save vacations for school breaks, but this year circumstances happened. We had to move up our winter trip to leave the Thursday before winter break. Therefore, my kids missed their winter music recital at school. They weren't upset about it, neither is really into music class. Then I put in a request to take time off for a trip during the children's spring break. We informed the school in advance that they would only come half a day today and then would be out tomorrow. My daughter mentioned that her teacher was upset that she was missing the recital. She said it was just a weird that we always seem to leave right when recitals happen. I explained it was just a coincidence, and she said the kids are missing out on an integral part of school. I laughed and said they'd be in the end of the year one. This wouldn't happen next year anyway. And it's just elementary school production. It's not Broadway play that they made a commitment to. My wife told me I was an asshole for saying this and belittling the importance of her job. To me, I get why she takes it seriously, but it's not a be-all, end-all. Am I the asshole? Let's find out. Let's shake the magic 8-ball and see how it's feeling. My sources say no. Okay, so the magic 8-ball says that he's not an asshole. So let's think about this. What does this mean? Okay, so first of all, it seems like the kids don't like it, right? They're not a big fan of the music classes or the recitals or anything. They seem more than okay with missing them. I do think that music education is really important, so it's hard for me to sort of put myself in the 8-ball shoes, but it is magic, so maybe I should, maybe I'm being closed-minded here. Have we checked the teacher's, like, Twitter account just to see if they said anything, like, a little dicey? Because maybe we should be belittling her profession. Maybe she's a bad person. All right, but this person brings up a good point. As a former child, I would rather be on vacation than dressing up for a recital. Maybe they're like the guy from the guy who didn't like musicals, but instead of musicals, it's just music. Magic 8-ball is considering the things we're not considering. Maybe they're allergic. Maybe they're allergic to music. You're not the asshole for missing the recitals because stuff happens, but you're the asshole for laughing in her face and telling her that her job isn't important. Well, the Magic 8-Ball sources say no. What are the Magic 8-Ball sources? Have we considered this? Are there other magic ball gods? Am I the asshole for throwing up over my husband's cousin in front of everyone and refusing to apologize? I, 24F, am pregnant and have been violently throwing up. His cousin, Maya, 23F, is kind of a weirdo. We were over for Christmas and everyone was around the table laughing and she was on the floor with scented candles doing yoga and meditating. Love her! Maya! She's also vegan and keeps forwarding me research papers to prove that my baby will be healthier if I stop eating meat. She even talked to me about a connection between eating meat and violently throwing up. Okay, maybe not. I'm starting to think maybe not. I am just not up for it, and I do feel like she thinks she's somehow superior because she does all of this. Anyway, they came over, and after 20 minutes, she was on the floor meditating with her scented candles. She brought them in her bag. I felt instantly nauseous as they smell of heavy herbs, like a spa would. I asked her to stop or go upstairs, but she just didn't respond. Her mom let me know that Maya was focusing and couldn't speak. I went to open a window, God honestly thinking I was fine, but as luck would have it, I turned back and somehow the movement was the final nail in the coffin. Maya had moved since I had last seen her and I ended up throwing up on top of her! Ah! She went mental, none of that meditation stuff, screaming that she had meat all over her. Geez, not puke, but meat, like that really mattered. Her mom just said, let's get on with the apology so we can all move on. I told her I don't believe I am at fault and I won't apologize because I asked twice but was ignored. I asked my husband and he just said, IDK babe, I get you. I just think when you puke on someone, you do say sorry just to be polite. That's the funniest sentence in the entire world. IDK babe, I get you. I just think that when you puke on someone, you do say sorry just to be polite at least. I would love to say how I think, but what's more important is what the 8-ball thinks. Are you the asshole? Most likely! Literally throws up on other people and doesn't
understand Maya is working with forces that we can't even begin to comprehend.
Wait, she was in contact with the 8-ball, and the 8-ball's defending her.
Are in cahoots. Maya is connected to the earth in ways that we will never comprehend or understand or even begin to know the full depths of.
From Maya's perspective, you know, I get it. I understand, like, spirituality is incredibly important to a lot of people. She's obviously on a level that we cannot reach, okay? She is tripping 8 balls 1,000% of the time. Yeah, Maya touches grass a lot and touches trees a lot. There could be supernatural forces at work that compelled her to not break that connection. And maybe she was trying to stop supernatural forces from invading the earth. I'm just saying. It seems likely. So it's fine. Yeah, OP is an asshole for interrupting the astral connection. Am I the asshole for not taking her 2 weeks notice? I would say she doesn't owe you shit, but we're gonna read it anyways. I run a very small business. We have a work group chat that we send the schedule through, or also occasionally send memes, pictures of pets, holiday wishes, etc. We have a woman, and like from Pokemon, who just started working. Same day she started, I sent off the schedule. We have a coworker who is traveling, Jay, and I am helping to care for her pets while she is away. Coworkers had asked me how the pets were, and I sent pictures of them to a chat. And I'm on a need-to-know basis, and I don't need to know whatever's going on in this chat other than the schedule. Thanks. My assistant immediately responds with, I'll start a new chat and remove you from it. 45 minutes after all of this, another worker, A, sent off a text to the original group chat. I don't see the harm in asking to be removed, but maybe a little bit more polite. Minutes later, N messaged me and her supervisor asking who A was and, if possible, not to have to work with them. N agreed to move her days, and I thought, cool. Then she sent another message to me and her supervisor. I've got to resign. I'm sorry it didn't work out, but I'm glad we tried, and I wish you all the best. This is my 2 weeks notice. Me, I appreciate the heads up, and I'll just accept your notice today as resignation. I'll remove you from the schedule, and we'll have your paycheck ready for you. TBH, I'm rather low on funds, need some income, and was looking forward to a couple more shifts in the next 2 weeks. Would that be all right? I apologize, but I'm going to say no, because I would like to avoid any further unnecessary and tedious interpersonal conflict within the staff. Am I the asshole? Cannot predict now. That's okay. That's okay. You know what? I think that the 8-ball is leaving us to our own judgment. I mean, yeah, she was being short with them, but like, it's a job, okay? It's a job. It's not playtime. It just isn't. Especially if your manager is in it. If your manager is in it, I would even have to second guess how I felt about that. So N from Pokemon, I think, is in the right here, and I think that the ball, while it may have its own reservations and perspective, it would rather us draw our own conclusions. Taking away a present that my son was given. That could be juicy. Let's skim it a little bit. I would like to start off that my husband 40M and I 34F do not spoil our kids. We are very well off. Okay, so they're well off, so we can assume that yes, they probably are assholes. But both of us started from a very poor background, so we really want our kids to earn things and not being given to them. They get paid for doing chores. 6 years old to teach them money management. It works really well, and Sarah now has over $200 saved up. And Keith is starting to learn how to save. That's nice. If I was a rich person and I had like even a shred of humility, this is probably how I would do it. My son Ben has never gotten the hang of saving. He always has been the type to spend everything he earns very quickly. He will usually do enough chores a week to get $10. By Wednesday, the money is gone since he will spend it all at the school store for candy and whatnot. Well, a new Kirby game came out for the Switch and he wanted it. This is about the new Kirby game. I'm on Ben's side now. I changed my mind. He didn't have any money saved up, so he has to earn the amount he needs to buy it. The game is about $60, so that means 120 chores. Well, Ben was really struggling at the beginning, but was slowly saving up the money. He is now halfway there. My sister-in-law has never liked the system and really believes that the kids should be spoiled. When she was over today, she downloaded the game on the Switch and showed it to Ben. Ben started to play the game, and we noticed when he had already started the game. We were very angry at sister-in-law since it defeated the whole point of what we were trying to do. So while sister-in-law was here, I removed the game from the Switch and explained to Ben that he still needs to earn the game, that I will re-download it once he earns the money. Sister-in-law blows up at me and tells me it's a present and that my kid doesn't have to earn crap, that we are awful parents for doing this to our kid. She left and told my husband's mother and told us the same thing. Now we are doubting our system even though it worked great for Sarah, so am I the asshole? cannot predict now. God damn it, 8-Ball. Help me out here. Help me out here. I think the sister-in-law is kind of an asshole. Literally saying that, like, you should spoil your kids. You gotta make sure that you're not, like, giving your kids everything for free, because then they will, like, literally never learn responsibility. But the parents had plausible asshole deniability until they took the game away. I just do not think that the parents are the assholes for giving their son chores. They are assholes for taking the game away, although 120 chores does seem like quite a bit. But also the sister-in-law is an asshole for giving him the game for nothing, for no occasion, just being like, oh, your parents won't let you have this? Don't worry, I'm the cool aunt. I buy it for you. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend it's hard to be with someone like him? Let's see. Let's find out. I love my boyfriend, but he is a giant kid at times, which can be charming and cute and funny. And he's such a fun dad and uncle to all the kids in our family. But sometimes it's like dating a teenage gorilla. For example, he moved in with me and immediately broke the paper towel holder hanging under the cupboard by being too rough, replacing the roll. We've been together for 3 years and he's gone through 5 phones. My dude! He breaks mugs, plates, wine glasses. There's countless other examples of things that are on their own minor, but sometimes I just get tired of living with the human personification of "this is why we can't have nice things" meme. Oh no. The most recent occurrence was tonight. He was trying to be cute jumping into our bed after me. He basically belly slammed into it and one of the support boards underneath cracked. And it's stressful to think it's on its way to the junk pile like so many other things because he's an overgrown man-child. Ooh! I snapped at him and he was shocked I was actually upset, as per usual. I told him sometimes it's hard to be with someone like you who breaks things all the time, and left the room. Now I'm feeling guilty because I know he doesn't mean to break things, and if he told me it was hard to be with someone like me, I'd be so offended. I know I hurt his feelings because he was just trying to be playful. Am I the asshole? What does the 8-Ball think? Are you an asshole? Signs point to yes. Everybody says they want a himbo until they get one. Listen, you got your himbo. You got what you wanted. It's like getting a Dalmatian. You have to be ready because Dalmatians are hard to take care of. You get a himbo, he's gonna break all of your things. He's gonna snap your bed frame. Sometimes you say shit you don't mean. In this situation, you may be the asshole, but that doesn't mean you're an asshole overall. I think that I really hope that they were able to work things out. Am I the asshole for cutting my parents off after they insulted my partner? Everyone sucks? That's exciting. Let's find out. Oh no. F27 M42? Ruh-roh Raggy? At the time, we were both in the relationships. Okay, Starfire. Mine lasted 3 years at the time, and his some 15 or more. He had 2 children with his partner. We befriended each other rather quickly, and after 2 years realized we love each other. We wanted to start it clear, so we both ended our previous relationships before we started dating. It took some time because he had to divorce his wife, and she tried to cut him from their children's life. Until recently, my parents didn't know I have a new partner. I knew they were not big fans of age difference in relationships. And the fact that my partner has children also wasn't exactly to their liking, but I eventually decided I have to let them know. Long story short, as soon as they first laid their eyes upon Mike, they started yelling at him. They told him that he should be ashamed of himself for fooling me. The fact that I'm young and naive doesn't mean he can use me, that I can do much better. So I made the only sensible decision, which means got back to the car with my partner and drove off without saying goodbye. We spent the rest of the weekend at a hotel nearby as my parents live quite far away from the city we are living. My partner was sad. I was crushed too. I really believe that my parents were happy with me being in a healthy relationship. Ever since then, random family members keep calling me and telling me I'm a fool and asshole. Hi, this is OP. I can't get to the phone right now. Please leave a message. Boop. Listen, OP, you're a fool and asshole. Now my partner is blaming himself for causing a rift in my family. I, however, do not regret my decision. But given everything, am I the asshole? Girl, run. Girl, run. Girl, run. What does the 8-Ball think? Most likely. Okay. I hesitate to call somebody who's in the middle of something like that an asshole. Nobody wants to hear, your parents are right in this situation when you're 27 fucking years old. But like, if you don't have that life experience that tells you that like older dudes can do like some messy shit sometimes without even knowing that they're doing messy shit, you need to be told. You need to be told. I think that the parents like are doing their absolute best. I think it's good that they yelled at her partner. Most of all, the guy sucks for divorcing his wife for somebody younger after making her bear children and then being like, I'm out. Saw this girl at work. She made me laugh twice and she listens to me talk about stupid bullshit, which means that we're in love. Am I the asshole for not letting my boyfriend eat dinner with my family after he brought his own utensils? I, F27, started seeing my boyfriend M31 for 8 months. He comes from a well-off family and has met my parents a while ago and got along well. Though he didn't eat well at dinner and said he was sick, they invited him over a second time this past week to town. Everything went well till he arrived. He stopped the car, turned it off, and pulled a bag from under his seat. I asked about it, and he opened it and revealed utensils. Fork, knife, napkin, set of spoons. I asked why he brought them and he said he wanted to use them for dinner. I was baffled. I said, dinner? At my parents' table? He nodded and I told him this isn't acceptable. In fact, this was distasteful and I won't let him do this. He got upset and said I should chill. This stuff is expensive and is good brand, and claimed my parents wouldn't overreact like I did. When you need the problems to be more, you cast the spell of saying, oh, you're overreacting. You know how many times I've said that to a partner? Freaking 0. I said, no, this is insulting. And I wouldn't allow him to enter my parents' house, much less put these utensils at their table. Jesus Christ. You would think that he like admitted to like committing a felony or something. I asked him if he thought my family were unhygienic and he said no. He said we were getting late, but I insisted he couldn't have dinner with us like that. He said he won't enter the house then. I said fine and got out of the car and went inside the house. He texted me saying I was being dramatic for no reason and pressured me to let him come in and bring the utensils with him, but I refused. He said he'd tell my parents, but I didn't reply. Then went off saying I stopped him from having dinner with my parents over a petty reason. I said he could have had dinner if he left his utensils in the car. He said it's all on me. I wasted his time on this trip and ruined the visit. Am I the asshole for not letting him bring them? Cannot predict. Now come on, 8-Ball. Have an opinion. Predict. Better not tell me. Oh no. Does he think that this is a good situation? 8-Ball, I think you're overreacting. Your boyfriend got sick the last time you ate at your parents' house, and this time he's bringing his own utensils. And you are assuming that that means your boyfriend has decided that your parents have dirty, nasty, sick utensils filled with germs. This OP's legs must be freaking tired from jumping to conclusions. Am I the asshole for not locking my bedroom door while having someone over? Ooh, spice. My husband, 29M, and I, 29M, are in the process of getting a divorce. I've been seeing a friend, 29M. These are all 29Ms. This is 29Ms all over the place. I've been seeing a friend, 29M, of mine romantically for a little while, and last night he stayed the night at my house, which used to be my husband and I's house. I have 3 daughters, 4, 5, and 6, who all know better than to come in my room before I've woken up. I sleep naked, and I obviously don't want them walking in. If they really need something or there is an emergency, they still know they have to knock before coming in. I usually lock my bedroom door, and last night I forgot to. My ex-husband comes into my house because he still had a key and he was coming to pick up the girls and take them to his house for the week. He walks into my bedroom and sees me naked with the other guy. He goes complete ballistic that I should lock the door and I have 0 respect for my kids by having someone stay the night. He tells me the girls could have walked in and saw us. Not once has my daughters ever walked in without knocking, except for when they were first learning to knock first. Also, he's literally arguing with me while I'm naked in bed. He doesn't even have the decency to let me get dressed before having this conversation. Bro, this dude sucks. Is OP the asshole? Concentrate and ask again. Cannot predict now. As I see it, yes. Really? Do tell, Mr. the 8-Ball. 8-Ball, are you homophobic? Okay, all right. He loves gay people, but he hates divorce. He doesn't believe in it. I've never disagreed so hard with the ball, but I'm gonna have to roll with it anyways. He's the asshole because sleeping with no clothes on is illegal now. Ooh, am I the asshole for kicking mother-in-law out of my house because she told people my engagement ring was fake? Oh, let's dig in. Finally some good freaking food. I got engaged recently and I'm over the moon happy. My ring is cubic zirconia. I always wanted a large ring and my fiance couldn't afford to do that in diamonds, so we talked out the options and I am thrilled with my ring. We had some family over to celebrate and I decided to extend the olive branch and invite the mother-in-law despite some recent issues we've been having and despite the fact she is the only person who did not congratulate us on our engagement. Oh no. Mother-in-law has a gorgeous engagement ring about the same size as mine, but real diamond. Mother-in-law's husband asked how her son could have possibly afforded a ring that size and implied that he thought he went into massive debt for it. Mother-in-law started laughing. You don't think that was real, do you? She then explained how you tell the difference between real and fake. I thought that was really rude when she could have just told him it wasn't appropriate to say. I pulled her aside and asked what that was about. She smirked and said she was just explaining how diamonds work. I was like, no, you were just announcing to 3 people who didn't need to know that my ring was fake. Mother-in-law shrugged and said it was okay because he asked. Oh, God. I asked her to leave because she was bringing down the moon and I felt her behavior was inappropriate. She rolled her eyes and left with her husband. My fiance is sad about the state of the relationship, but was cool with my decision. Sister-in-law and her BF said I am jealous and petty, and mother-in-law didn't do anything wrong. All right, 8-Ball, whose side are you on here? Is OP the asshole? Yes, definitely. Really? 8-Ball, I couldn't disagree more with you. Obviously, I was gonna go with whatever you said at the beginning of the stream, but oh my God, no. Here's the thing, OP is a genius, and she knows that diamonds are just shitty, stupid little rocks. Their rarity is none. They are not rare in the slightest. But the cost is astronomical compared to its worth. And if you get cubic zirconium, it's the fucking same. They were literally on the same page. The mother-in-law is like, oh, dearest, the reason they could afford such a large and expensive-looking gemstone is because it's a fake. It is simply a property of cubic zirconium to not be as of high status as the one that was mined for me by 800 overworked, starving children on the other side of the world. Fuck off. Am I the asshole for sending my daughter's boyfriend home and not giving him a ride? Probably. Did he have to walk? My daughter, 15, has this boyfriend, 15, who's just a bad kid. Can't stand him and doesn't see any likable traits that he has other than being an attractive. They both know he's only allowed in common areas of the house, only when a parent is home, and no sleepovers. Yet today I found him in her room at 10 p.m. It was 10 p.m.? He walked back home, which is 20 to 25 minutes away. His dad called upset, saying I was wrong to allow his son to walk that far when it was dark out. His dad was still angry and banned him from coming back to our house. Sounds good to me! But to all 3 of them, I'm the asshole. Am I? Yes! Oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? Thank you. Get that kid out of there. Am I the asshole for kicking out my girlfriend from our apartment whenever my mother comes to visit? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let me just rub my little hands together. I, 28M, have been dating Sally, 25F, for about a year now. Due to some family circumstances, several years ago, she had to drop out of school and become a full-time mother for her niece and struggled to get by. Sally is in nursing school and also works part-time. Because of this, I pay for all of our bills, including rent, food, utilities. She offers to pitch in, but I make enough to support both of us, so I tell her to save her money instead. All right, I'm just gonna say right there, red flag. I really do feel like she was dealt a shitty hand in life, and if our relationship doesn't work out, I want to make sure she's in a position to stand on her own 2 feet, especially because she moved across the country to be with me, to a place where she didn't know anyone and is still working on making friends and developing a support system. 5 years ago, I went no contact with my parents. They didn't approve of my fiance at the time because of her race. Ooh, the twist! We eventually broke off the engagement. While my father hasn't expressed any remorse, my mom reached out to me about 6 months ago to sincerely apologize. She seemed to genuinely regret what she did, so we've been rebuilding our relationship. My mom now flies in to visit me for a weekend a month. While she knows I'm dating someone, I haven't introduced them yet. Because of what happens, it's not something I feel comfortable with yet, and I still need to develop more trust before I feel okay making that introduction. I've explained this to Sally, and she completely understands. Whenever my mom visits, I'll put Sally up in a nice hotel, tell her to order room service, and have fun for a weekend on my dime. But a few days ago, our friends staged an intervention saying the way I'm treating Sally is unfair. They say that our apartment is just as much Sally's as it is mine, and I have no right to kick her out to accommodate my mother. I disagree. I would never go forward with this arrangement if Sally weren't on board with it, which she has repeatedly told me she is. I've lived in this apartment since before we started dating, and I pay for it, so I feel like our friend's argument doesn't make any sense. But now I can't help but worry if I'm treating her unfairly and she's putting up with it for my sake. Maybe the ball will illuminate the situation. Yes, definitely the asshole. All right, maybe not all the information is here. He did go no contact with his parents for 5 years, and then 6 months ago, he was just like, okay, my mom is sorry for being racist, so. OP is putting it off, I think. OP is putting it off. And that also reads a little assholey to me. You can't just like keep somebody a secret if you're gonna like put your mother back in your life and put your partner in that situation. If your GF is living with you and your parent might be evil to your GF, you need to face facts. You need to face the music. Am I the asshole for not denying that I have a favorite child? The girls are twins, but are different in every way. Growing up, Angie shared a lot more interests with my wife. She loved performing in pageants, cheerleading, the whole 9 yards. While Julie shared my enthusiasm for the outdoors, camping, and wildlife photography. Julie hated going shopping or seeing her sister perform in pageants, while Angie despised the outdoors and refused to go camping with Julie and I. Waiting for this to go south. Recently, while birdwatching, Julie broke the camera we got for her 15th birthday. It was an expensive camera, and she was distraught because she knew we couldn't afford to buy her a new one. I knew how much that camera meant to Julie, who wants to work in photography after graduation, so I decided to take more overtime shifts and sell some of my personal belongings so I could afford to buy her a new one. High-end cameras can be very, very expensive. Angie approached me the next day saying she needs a new dress for her upcoming pageant. I asked how much she needs, and she said that the dress she wants is $4,050. I told her I'm sorry, but I can't afford to get her the dress right now, and she might want to ask her mom. Angie said mom already told her no, and she knows I can afford it because I bought Julie the camera. I tried explaining that a camera and dress are different, but she argued that I could just work more overtime and sell more of my stuff like I did for Julie. She exploded and accused me of favoritism. Although my decision had nothing to do with favoritism, I didn't bother denying it. Oh, this girl's gonna have daddy issues. Most of our money already goes towards her pageants and dance competitions, so she can't say I don't get her stuff. Ruh-roh. Angie obviously favors her mom over me and even told me a couple of times, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love me. So why is it treated differently the other way around? I could really use some insight. Am I missing something? Am I the asshole? Sources say no. Well, your sources are freaking wrong, my dude. Can you imagine what that does to a kid? I worked overtime and sold a bunch of my belongings so that I could get my freaking kid a $3,200 camera. And when my other kid was like, hey, can I have the same amount of money spent on me for something? No, and also, you're not my favorite daughter. You're not the kind of daughter I would sell my freaking Pokemon card collection for. Let's see. Going against my boyfriend's wishes. My boyfriend asked me to accompany him on a surgery he was supposed to have. According to him, the surgery was something extremely simple that should take half an hour at the most. Because it involved something private, he requested that I wouldn't share details about the surgery with anyone, including his family. Then the day of the surgery comes. He goes to the operating room and a few hours go by. I spent practically the entire morning and afternoon waiting without updates, so I decided to ask the receptionist. The first thing that she does is scoff a little and say that the surgery was not trivial and that I should prepare to stay there for at least another 5 hours. Oh no. Since we thought it was going to be something simple, we didn't mind parking on the street. So I decided to call his mother. Oh no! Who lives very close to the hospital, asking her to come get the car since I don't have a driver's license. I thought she knew about the surgery, but not what it would be exactly. Well, she didn't know. She started screaming on the phone, thinking that an accident had happened, and after calming her down, I explained that he thought it would be a simple procedure and didn't want to worry anyone. In short, he left a whole 7 hours later, and I said that the delay was not a problem, but I had to let his family know. He immediately changed his mood and raised his voice, asking why I had betrayed his trust, and that it wasn't my right to tell them. What hurt me the most is that he immediately came to the conclusion that I must have told them to throw him under the bus, not even giving me time to explain why I did it in the first place. My mom and his mom think he's being unreasonable, but even after talking, he's still very upset about it all, and I'm feeling really bad. So Reddit, am I the asshole? Very doubtful that they're the asshole. Okay, that I can get behind. Name one freaking surgery that takes 30 minutes. Has there ever been one in the history of surgery? If he didn't want to tell his mom, he should have at least said, like, hey, I am getting surgery done, like they did on The Great. Guys who keep secrets from their loved ones, I'm like raising a little bit of an eyebrow. Unless like their loved ones are like demons from hell. Am I the asshole choosing the golden child over my other sister? What are we talking about right now? Our parents are complete assholes. Maya was their golden... Is it Maya from earlier? The meditative one? The one who is on a different plane of existence? Maya was their golden child, and honestly, a complete and utter spoiled bee. She got special treatment and would get away with murder. Our parents basically encouraged it. Murder? Our parents and Maya were absolutely horrible to Tia while I was gone. So when she was 18, Tia moved out and has stayed with me. Though after that, I basically didn't see our parents or Maya. However, last November, Maya randomly reached out to us. She had felt guilty for a while, but was scared to reach out in case we'd reject her. She felt really sincere and was really apologetic and seemed ashamed. I forgave her and we started talking a lot. Our parents basically turned on her the moment we left. She wasn't the golden child anymore and had to suffer our parents' bullshit. With how horrible our parents are, I wanted to ask her to move in with me. I'm the renter. The rental agreement and bills and everything are all under my name. But when I brought up the idea, Tia was furious. She rejected it. I tried to compromise and talk, but it went nowhere. So in the end, I told Tia I'm offering and that she can be civil or I can help her move somewhere else. Ooh. Maya accepted coming to stay next week, and Tia is pissed and feels that I'm choosing the golden child over her. Tia is still angry, and our friends think it was an asshole move, but Maya is my sister, and I don't think it's wrong to help her. I helped Tia back then, too. All right, well, what's your verdict, Mr. The Ball? Yes, definitely an asshole. Okay, yeah, I agree. I don't think that Maya deserves to be stuck with her parents. I don't think that Maya deserves to not have anywhere to go. But if things are as bad as OP is describing, then, like, you can't put Tia back with Maya. You can't. Plus, Maya's been into all this, like, meditation stuff, and she's, like, on another plane of existence right now. And it's gonna be a little bit tough to commune. Am I the asshole for telling mother-in-law she can't bond with my kids without doing dangerous things? Then she is a grandmother. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Mother-in-law was the star gymnast at the best school in the country for the sport. She is in very good shape and can do backflips and handsprings. My kids took an interest about 6 months ago when she was casually doing back handsprings in the yard. She said she would teach them, and I asked her not to as she had no mats down and I don't really trust her judgment, to be honest. A few months later, I asked mother-in-law to watch my kids for 5 minutes so I could use the bathroom. They were on a trampoline. When I came back, she was trying to teach them to do flips on it, and she wasn't even giving real instructions, just like, watch this. I snapped at her that we have strict rules for the trampoline. Mother-in-law told me millennial parents are annoying, got off the trampoline and sulked. The final straw was yesterday when we saw her for a family birthday. She tried to get my 3-year-old, who isn't even a strong swimmer, to do a handstand right at the edge of a dock because it made a better Instagram picture. You fucking idiot. I chewed her up and found her trying to teach my 5-year-old to dangle upside down on playground equipment. Mother-in-law said she was just trying to bond with my kids. I pointed out that that is selfish because mother-in-law has never shown interest in their lives or hobbies until they showed an interest in a thing she likes. And I said, if she can't bond without doing dangerous stuff, she is a shit grandmother as well. Oh my fucking God. This is maybe the funniest Am I the Asshole post ever made. All right, let's find out. Is this guy the asshole for not rocking with this freaking cool ass grandma? signs point to yes, you're an asshole for not getting down with this grandma's sick fucking moves. Can you get over yourself for like 5 minutes and let your children do these sick stunts? Don't you want your kids to be rad? Children are made of rubber. If they try to do aerobics, they will fall and they will hurt themselves, and they will break every bone in their body. And then 3 weeks later, they will be running around at top speed, doing it again. If your kids are gonna be a bunch of freaking little freaks that climb around on everything and do all kinds of flips, now's the time. Am I the asshole for setting hot sauce limits for my wife? This is me. I'm the one who needs hot sauce limits. I, 36M, love my wife, 34F, but she's currently obsessed with hot sauce, which is fine. But she has at least 30 bottles of the stuff in our fridge. We don't have a large refrigerator at all, and it is overflowing with hot sauce. I told her that I don't think it's fair to keep more than 10 bottles of hot sauce in our shared refrigerator. She said that she doesn't police how much space my food takes up in the fridge, and that she refuses to abide by my arbitrary and unfair hot sauce limits. Have you ever vomited hot sauce? It is not fun. Now, whenever I look at the rapidly multiplying hot sauces in our fridge, I get nauseous. She has no sympathy for me there because she's pregnant and struggling with morning sickness, which I guess I get, but also maybe she wouldn't be so sick all the time if she weren't drowning her food in hot sauce. All of the pregnancy resources I've looked at say to try nibbling some crackers, not eat. Are you eating straight spoonfuls of hot sauce? Are you insane? And we are heading out to visit my parents soon for an extended trip, and she said that she was probably going to bring 3 to 5 hot sauces with her, because if she has to eat my parents' bland cooking for 2 weeks, she might literally die. I said I would post this here, and if the consensus is that I'm an asshole, I'd buy her a new hot sauce, but if the consensus is that she's an asshole, she would get rid of some. She agreed with having me post, but said that no matter what the consensus is, she's going to buy more hot sauces. Which in my opinion is pretty telling about who is being unreasonable in this situation. This is so freaking funny. I will ask the Magic 8 Ball as a formality. That look good. That look good. That look good. I agree, 8 Ball. I agree, 8 Ball. That look good. This put a big smile on my face. Am I the asshole for refusing to make my husband apologize for what he said to my mom at the dinner table? I am excited. So I, F31, recently got married to my husband, Scott, M36. Before I met him, I was engaged to my former fiance, Martin. When our relationship ended, Mom was devastated. She did her best to bring us back together. For example, she lied to Martin about me being pregnant to save us. That was years ago. Now we're all on good terms, including Martin. At dinner table, Mom asked Scott if she saw the text she sent him the other day, and he said he was sorry and didn't notice. She told him to check it right then and read it out loud so everyone at the table could hear. He took his phone and started reading the text out loud. Her text mentioned how Martin got his fiance a new house and how generous he was, and then said that Martin is younger than Scott, yet he was able to buy a house. She was wrapped up by saying Martin maybe wasn't so bad for me after all. I was shocked and Scott was pissed, obviously. However, he didn't lash out or anything. He looked at the text, smiled, and said, you know, what gets me about this entire text is how you were a public educator for 30 years, yet you can't differentiate between the passive you and the contraction your. Good God, what a freaking badass! The thought of all the children that must have been left behind. Get him, Scott, get him. Everyone at the table busted into laughter and Mom's face went pale. She decided to leave the table and she and my sister started yelling at me saying Scott was being awfully rude and I need to get him to apologize immediately for embarrassing them at the table. She defended herself saying she was just letting him know and he had no confidence and took it personally. I left but kept getting told to talk to him and get him to apologize for what he did. Scott, you are the most based fucking dude alive. SOP the asshole. Decidedly so. I disagree with you, Ball. I disagree with you. Why? I'm re-rolling. The 8 Ball is wrong. Where's your magic? Where's your magic, 8 Ball? Without a doubt, shut the f up. Yeah, Scott's freaking sick with it. Ask again later. I won't ask again later because I don't trust your judgment. Scott could have said anything. He could have been like, you freaking old bitch, leave me alone. You rich people are all the same. Fuck you. But he did the classiest thing possible. Nitpick her grammar and then watch her like dig herself a hole in front of everyone. Why are you letting your mom treat your husband this way? Yes, your husband handled it like a champ, but grow a freaking spine and tell your mom in no uncertain terms to cut that shit out. Oh, okay. So maybe that's the reason. Okay, you know what, 8-Ball? I get it. I understand. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance to get over it in regards to my guest list for the wedding? Yes! Let's go. I love the wedding ones. Emily comes from a small scattered family, a dad, a mom, and a step-sibling, one grandparent, one uncle and aunt, a cousin, and a few other relatives. She isn't that close to a lot of her high school friends anymore, so her entire guest list is less than 15 people. She only had 3 girls she wanted as bridesmaids. Well, I come from an Italian-American family. My immediate family, grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, is over 100 people. I also play golf and softball now. I have a large network of friends, frat brothers, high school friends, teammates, and family friends that I want to invite. My guest list, after trimming some, was over 175 people. Emily has been complaining about this, that her side is way outnumbered. I told her that was ridiculous because everyone was there for both of us, but she kept saying how self-conscious it made her. So I tried compromising. We said no kids under 16 in order to eliminate some of my family. Eliminate! But she keeps complaining and saying I need to cut down the list. She won't even give a number that I need to trim to just to where it isn't as noticeable. Finally, I snapped last night and told her to get over it. Get over it, wife. Nobody cares how many people each person has, and that I'm not cutting out important people in my life because she's antisocial and doesn't like making friends. Oh my God, dude. Get over it, wife. Just because you don't have any friends doesn't mean I don't. All right, is this guy the asshole? Let's find out. Concentrate and ask again. Is this man an asshole? Concentrate and ask again. Okay, I'm concentrating. I'm sending all of my thought waves into this orb. Is he an asshole? Outlook, not so good. Not so good for what? I mean, I agree. Oh, is that what everyone sucks translates to? The straights have never been okay. This is wacky. It's anti-Italian discrimination. You just gotta love good vibes and kick it back and judging people with an 8-Ball. Hey, 8-Ball. Am I the asshole for making these people's struggles into my content for fun and goofs and jokes? Oh, wow, it says no. It says absolutely not. Definitely not the asshole. Nope, it says definitely not the asshole here. Yeah, you better tell me now what the answer is, because I would really like to know how you feel about it. I really love to know how you feel about it. I really love to know how you feel about it, Mr. the Orb. Yeah. It's saying yes in like 90 different ways. Oh my God! The orb!